Have you ever found yourself sobbing during a simple dog food commercial, or feeling a lump in your throat when you see a stranger's act of kindness? You might wonder why your tear ducts seem to have a mind of their own. It is not just about being sad or overly dramatic, as some might suggest. In fact, the psychology behind crying easily is far more complex and fascinating than most people realize. Today, we are uncovering the hidden science of your sensitivity. Stay tuned as we dive into what your tears are actually saying about your brain. Welcome back to our exploration of the human mind and the emotions that define our experience. In this video, we are going to look at the psychological profiles of those who cry easily and what researchers have discovered about this trait. We will break down the biological, environmental, and personality factors that make some of us more prone to tearing up. You will learn why this is often a sign of strength rather than weakness. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates as we unpack the layers of your personality. One of the primary psychological explanations involves a concept known as the highly sensitive person, or HSP. About 20% of the population falls into this category, meaning their nervous systems are more finely tuned. These individuals process sensory information more deeply and react more intensely to emotional stimuli. For an HSP, a beautiful piece of music or a poignant movie scene isn't just a moment, it is an immersive experience. This deep processing often leads to a physical release through tears. It is a natural byproduct of how their brain handles the world's intensity. Neurobiology also plays a significant role in why some people are more prone to crying than others. Specifically, the amygdala, which is the brain's emotional processing center, may be more active in easy criers. When the amygdala senses an emotional shift, it sends signals to the autonomic nervous system. This can trigger the lacrimal glands to produce tears, even when the stimulus seems minor to others. It is like having a smoke detector that is calibrated to be extremely sensitive. This biological hardwiring makes emotional regulation a much more active process for these individuals. Another factor to consider is the level of empathy a person possesses, often linked to mirror neurons. People who cry easily often have a higher capacity for empathy, meaning they literally feel the pain of others. When they see someone else crying, their own brain mirrors that state, creating a physical response. This is why you might cry during a sad movie, even though the characters are fictional. Your brain is essentially feeling for them as if the experience were your own. This high level of social connectivity is a hallmark of deep emotional intelligence. Stress and exhaustion can significantly lower your emotional threshold, making tears much more likely. When we are physically or mentally drained, our ability to regulate the prefrontal cortex diminishes. This part of the brain acts as the brakes for our emotional reactions. Without these brakes functioning at full capacity, even a small frustration can lead to a breakdown. If you find yourself crying more than usual, it might be your body's way of signaling burnout. It is an internal alarm system telling you that you need rest and recovery. Psychologists also point to attachment styles developed in early childhood as a potential cause. Those with an anxious attachment style may be more prone to emotional displays as a way to seek connection. Tears can be an unconscious signal for help, comfort, or validation from those around them. This behavior is often rooted in how our primary caregivers responded to our needs when we were young. If emotions were highly prioritized or volatile during development, crying might become a primary coping mechanism. Understanding your attachment history can provide great insight into your current emotional responses. Hormones are another silent driver of our emotional floodgates, impacting us more than we realize. Variations in levels of estrogen and progesterone can make individuals much more susceptible to crying. Additionally, testosterone has been shown to have an inhibitory effect on crying, which explains some gender differences. However, the presence of prolactin in tears suggests a complex biological link between nursing, bonding, and emotional release. These chemical messengers dictate the intensity of our feelings at any given moment. It is a reminder that our emotions are deeply physical and chemically driven events. Culturally, our upbringing influences how we perceive and allow ourselves to cry. In many societies, crying is stigmatized as a sign of weakness, leading people to suppress their natural urges. Those who cry easily may simply be more in touch with their emotions or raised in an environment that permitted it. By not suppressing the urge, they are practicing a form of emotional honesty that others might lack. This vulnerability is actually a tool for building deeper trust and intimacy in relationships. It signals to others that you are authentic and open about your internal state. There is a significant psychological relief that comes with a good cry, often referred to as catharsis.
Researchers have found that crying releases oxytocin and endogenous opioids, also known as feel-good chemicals. These substances help ease both physical and emotional pain, acting as a natural soothe for the soul. This is why many people report feeling much better after a session of crying than they did before. Your body is literally performing a self-soothing ritual to bring you back to equilibrium. It is an efficient biological reset button that we all carry within us.
Interestingly, people who cry easily are often found to be more resilient in the long run. By allowing themselves to process and release emotions as they occur, they prevent emotional buildup. Suppression of emotions is often linked to higher rates of anxiety and heart disease over time. Those who cry are essentially cleaning their emotional slate regularly, allowing them to move on faster. They don't carry the weight of unshed tears into their daily tasks or future relationships. This fluidity of emotion allows for a more dynamic and healthy psychological life. We must also distinguish between crying as a personality trait and crying as a symptom of clinical depression. If the crying is accompanied by persistent sadness, loss of interest, or hopelessness, it may be more than sensitivity. Depression can make the world feel overwhelming, leading to frequent and uncontrollable crying spells. In these cases, the tears are not a release, but a manifestation of deep-seated psychological pain. It is important to monitor the frequency and the context in which these emotional outbursts happen. Knowing the difference is key to seeking the right kind of support and understanding. Creativity and sensitivity often go hand in hand, with many artists being frequent criers. The same openness that allows for artistic inspiration also leaves one vulnerable to emotional surges. Writers, painters, and musicians often tap into the deep well of their sensitivity to produce their best work. For them, tears are a language that helps translate complex feelings into something tangible. This creative sensitivity is a gift that allows for a richer experience of life's ups and downs. If you cry easily, you might have a hidden creative spark waiting to be nurtured. When you cry easily, it also impacts how you are perceived by others in social and professional settings. While some may see it as unprofessional, others view it as a sign of high integrity and passion. People who are moved to tears by their work often care more deeply about the outcomes and the people involved. This level of investment can lead to stronger leadership if channeled correctly through self-awareness. It shows a level of authenticity that can be very magnetic in a world of curated personas. Your tears can actually be a bridge that connects you more deeply to your community. Mindfulness and grounding techniques can help those who feel their crying is becoming intrusive. Learning to observe the emotion without being swept away by it is a valuable psychological skill. You can acknowledge the feeling, label it, and then decide how to respond to the physical urge. This doesn't mean stopping the tears, but rather understanding their arrival so they feel less like an ambush. Breathing exercises can also help calm the autonomic nervous system when it becomes overly excited. Balancing sensitivity with these tools creates a harmonious emotional landscape. Ultimately, being someone who cries easily is a testament to your humanity and your capacity to feel. In a world that often prizes cold logic, your ability to be moved is a vital and beautiful trait. It means you are awake to the beauty, the tragedy, and the nuances of the human experience. Never let anyone make you feel ashamed of the way your heart processes the world around you. Your sensitivity is a compass that can guide you toward deep empathy and meaningful connections. Embrace your tears as the unique strength that they truly are. As we have seen, the psychological view on crying is far more supportive than societal myths suggest. Whether it is genetics, high sensitivity, or simply a healthy way of processing stress, your tears have a purpose. They are a tool for healing, a signal for connection, and a badge of your emotional depth. By understanding the why behind your tears, you can stop judging yourself and start appreciating your complexity. You are wired for feeling, and that is something to be celebrated in every aspect of your life. Take pride in your capacity to be moved by the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the psychology of the easy crier. We hope this perspective helps you view your own sensitivity, or that of others, with more compassion. Understanding our emotional nature is the first step toward living a more authentic and balanced life. There is so much more to learn about the fascinating ways our minds work every single day. We look forward to seeing you in the next video as we continue to explore the depths of human behavior. Take care of yourself and your heart.